Welcome into the program, everybody. This is Alabama Unfiltered Radio. We appreciate you listening to the program. Today is a Thursday, the 18th day of June. 18th day? 16th day. 16th day of July, in the year of our Lord 2026. I'm here. Big Sky Mountain Mosley is here. Lots of stuff to do today. Sky, I don't think I'm going to be able to hear you. I can't hear you. So somebody's turned something off on your thing down there. Your sound is not going into, like I don't hear anything from you.
Okay.
So, I don't know. We'll figure that out, but as long as y'all can hear me for the time being, we will get there. And y'all should know in all of our defense, we are at the mercy of whoever runs the board before we get started in the river region. So, it's not the echo thing, but I don't hear any of y'all. So, we'll get that fixed. If you have a phone call, then we'll figure that out as we go. A number of things that just, I don't know. I don't want to start a morning diatribe, but maybe I do. Maybe there is. But a couple of things that have happened the last couple of days really, really bother me. I know there probably should be a little bit of Conspiracy Thinker Thursday on this day, but a couple of things do bother me. The ones that bother me the most is that two things. One is the National Defense Authorization Act, the NDAA, which funds our military, make sure that we supposedly stay protected, etc. It's one of those things you have to have that. We have to have it as a country. I agree. I get it. But the games that are played with that and what Washington, D.C. does, where all of these people end up being willing to hold all of us hostage for something that they know we've got to have, that is what I don't necessarily understand. Sky, you want me to just turn off and turn on, take about 10 seconds to do that? Here, I'm going to turn you on so you can hear me. I don't have a problem. I mean, people are used to me messing it up. So you want me to turn off and turn on and see if it comes back on? I can't hear you now. Turn on the mic, Mike. No, let me just turn off. You just talk a second, and I'll just shut this down, see if I can restart on my end, and that might be easy.
It's a lot better.
All right, I'm already on, and can't hear.
Up here?
Can't hear a word you're saying. Huh.
Nothing.
Okay, so y'all may have to start on y'all's end.
Okay.
Well, I'm going to y'all. Maybe somebody's messed with something here. I don't know. I'll look and see. I'll check all that when we get a chance. You say something. Say something to me on the system.
Okay. Checking now. I've got a bad echo in my.
Yeah, for some reason it's not making it out to me. So we'll maybe it's coming here and it's just something on our end. But I don't mess with anything. It's all good. We'll do it at the commercial break. So the problem I have with Washington, and much to people's chagrin, there was an effort to fix this. The Alabama Constitution, the way we do things in the Alabama legislature, which is not always the best, smartest way. I mean, we mess plenty of things up, but the concept of things having to be all about one subject, one topic. If you have a piece of legislation, it's supposed to be one topic. That has its limitations. It is better than what they have in Washington, D.C., but it still has its limitations, and I don't know if that philosophy would fix what we end up having in the National Defense Authorization Act over and over and over. There's all sorts of language about surveillance. What does that have to do with national defense, Scott? Well, yeah, I guess it does. There'll always be something about whether we draft our daughters or not. Somebody's always monkeying around putting something like that in there. Does that have anything to do with defense, Scott? Well, yeah, it does. There's always someone monkeying around about whether or not what kind of medical care goes to our soldiers. What does that have to do with defense, Scott? Well, yeah, I guess it does, but I don't know if, cutting off people's body parts or adding on or whatever because they've decided they're trans. I don't know. I don't think that helps us with our national defense. Oh, well, Scott, we need to make sure our soldiers are so you get the idea that they get to put and hide and do all these things in these pieces of legislation. And at the same time, if you or I are a congressman or a senator and we're trying to do the right things for the republic, for the United States, we're stuck with this monumental decision that says, do I vote against this whole bill? I get one vote, yes or no? Yay or nay? Do I vote against the whole thing because they've put a bunch of poisonous apples, berries, whatever you want to say, in it? Is that how it works? And we've seen it in the past. I mean, Mo Brooks, when he ran for the United States Senate, gets attacked for voting against one of the military bills. Oh, no, Mo Brooks. And then they just decide that whatever's in the legislation that sounds good to people. Mo Brooks didn't want soldiers to get paid. Mo Brooks just wanted to, so he didn't want to defend the country. He doesn't support the military. And he or whoever, or Tuberville or somebody tries to say, maybe even Katie Britt tries to say, no. I was trying to get enough votes for us to take this poisonous berry out of the basket. Well, you can't do that. I think one of them on the Mo Brooks thing was drafting girls, daughters. I don't want you drafting my boys, but I sure don't want you drafting my daughter. I just think, what are we doing? You can, whoever out there can talk about equality, this, that, and the other. And, look, there is an argument to be made for it. There's an argument to be made. Hey, look, if that's we're all equal, then yeah. I mean, part of me sees it. Part of me is like, okay, as long as you're not sending them to combat. Support? Absolutely. Driving trucks? Absolutely. Fixing things? Absolutely. Making sure everything's out there for the guys who got to go to the front lines? Absolutely. Fine. Okay, maybe so, but I'm fine with a congressman or a senator saying, look, I'm just not for it. I can see that, and I can concede to that just as easily. But I'm really disturbed by the fact that we have this idea that we're going to merge our military, our capabilities, in any fashion more than we're already doing with a foreign power. I actually wished we probably did less with foreign powers. Somebody way smarter than I advised a long, long time ago about getting entangled in the business of other countries. Don't get in their battles. Don't get in their conflicts. Avoid them. Try to be friends with all. And I think he would have had a heart attack if you had told them in 250 years we would statutorily start trying to tie our military in with another country's military. Yeah, but they're our friends, Scott. They're our friends. Well, I don't know if anybody can say they're our friends. They may be our, quote, ally. And I'm not even sure if our ally is the correct way of phrasing it. I think we are their ally. I'm not sure they are our ally. Because they have the intestinal fortitude to put themselves first. They look out for themselves. We, on the other hand, seem to have a bunch of folks who are more concerned about them than they are about us. And that's a debate you can have, but I don't, that's the way I see it. We're their ally. They're not necessarily our ally. And then who saves us from that? The Democrats? The Democrats hold up the NDAA? Republicans don't? I don't understand it. I can be your friend. I can be your best friend. I can be there for you anytime you need me. But that doesn't mean I put you on my bank account. That doesn't mean I give you a key to my house and my cars. What in the world are we doing? I guess you can't bring those things up. We got to take a break. Sky, I'm going to work on this.
Yeah, let
we'll
me
be back.
Check real quick. Okay, we're still getting a bad.
One call, one crew.
Scott Beason, president of ARP, Alabama Recovering Politicians.
Alabama Unfiltered Radio with Scott Beason.
Welcome back into the program, everybody. This is Alabama Unfiltered Radio. I appreciate you listening to the show. Sky, can I hear you? Can you talk to me?
Let's do a check.
Look at you, sound
test.
awesome. Fantastic.
All right.
Yeah.
Woo!
So I will tell y'all the story. So the computer that I have that is it is dedicated for making sure that I can talk to Sky remotely.
Right.
It's a software program called Clean Feed, which I think that software works really well.
It's a very good program.
It's a very good program. So that computer, actually, yesterday it said it said it has an update. Turn it off and it'll update. And turn it on. So I can't say I'm surprised. I forgot about that. This morning I get here and I was surprised because this big Windows screen comes up and says, "Yeah, Windows is updated. Yay, wonderful." And I'm like, no, I don't need to know all the details. Just off, skip, turn off. Great. Just give me my computer, run my Clean Feed. Usually when that happens, and one of the things we check for is to make sure the microphones are right, because it has in the past, the last two times it did, it took over the microphones and moved them back to the laptop, so all the sound was going across the room to the laptop and then going out, and Sky couldn't hear me and the sound was messed up. And you're like, why would it change that? Well, it didn't change that this time. This time it decided that the sound output would no longer go to my board, And you're like, well,
Why?
it would make sense to me, Sky, to go say the sound output can go not go to the board. It'll go back to the computer. But no, it chose a chat feature
random.
that's in the board that's not even the first or second choice.
No.
And that's why I couldn't hear you.
Normally, when you restart or reset or whatever, update, you go back to the default setting, not some random fourth or third choice.
And that would have made sense. Go back to the laptop. Hey, we don't know what you're doing over there, but we've updated. But I have this sneaky feeling, and y'all tell me if I'm wrong, which is fine. I mean, I know a lot of computer guys listen to this show, and girls. I have a feeling that Microsoft and sometimes Apple, because I don't think Apple's is, I think if they have a competitor product that you could use to do the same kind of thing, I think they purposefully, when they do their updates, monkey with the other setups. Like, oh, we see you're using this clean feed thing all the time. I think we'll, when the update goes through, you'll have to figure out how to get that speaker to work back again, how to get your sound to come back again.
It's not an official product of the fruit company.
Yeah, it's like when you have you ever bought a charger? Hey, I left the charger, got to pick up my charger. We're going out of town, got to get a new charger. You plug it in, it works. The next day you plug it in, it works. The next week you plug it in, it works. The 14 days in, you plug it in, accessory not recognized.
Yeah, when you're on vacation.
Yeah, or it just quits working, and you're like, wait a minute, why is it not charging my phone? And then you plug in your, I don't know, maybe you have a sound maker or a Bluetooth speaker that you need to charge up, and you plug it into there, and it works. You plug it into your phone, no little lightning bolt. Plug it into this other thing, it works. Plug it into somebody else's phone, it works. Plug it back into your phone that's been using it for 14 days, no longer works. And that always happens when it's an off-brand charger. So tell me why.
Strange.
I think they tell their devices to, hey, you make it work. Let's don't be working all the time. Let's start having problems and force Sky and Scott to go buy a new Apple
official
charger cord.
Right. Yeah.
Do y'all have that problem?
I think you're right.
Have you recognized that, seen that, Sky?
I have with other people. I use Android.
Oh, I think that'd be better.
Is
anybody ever gonna?
Apple is terrific.
Give us a real yes, but they have their little idiosyncrasies, and it's gotten worse over time.
Goodness.
And how many times are they going to get in trouble for doing things like, well, yeah, maybe we were taxing the batteries, maybe we were, not deleting any old stuff so that your computer, your little phone gets completely clogged up, and then you're like, man, I need another $1,200 Apple phone.
It's kind of like a cult almost, the whole setup and everything. I'm happy with Android. It works fine. It's good enough for me.
If I didn't have to do this show, I think I would be better off if I just went back to a flip phone.
Simple is often better.
I might get frustrated with having to type 3 times to get the letter I want to come up. My text messages would be far shorter. and I know a bunch of people, Sky, who the world would be a better place if texting was more difficult for them. Because they've reached that threshold
I know what you mean.
where I'm like, why didn't you call me with that? I mean, I could have listened to you while I was driving on a wireless headset. Hands-free, please, hands-free. I'm doing it hands-free. But you could have told me that much more quickly than I could have read 4,000 lines of text.
I have a rule on text messages. If I have to scroll
if you have to
more
scroll
than once,
yeah,
forget it. That's it.
I don't need to know it.
Yeah.
Better tell me what you want to tell me in the first few lines, because if you save it to the end, I'm probably not getting it. Unless I see it when I go scroll, and then at the end it's in like big letters. Oh, yeah, please remember the bread. Something like that.
And don't forget. Yeah, okay. Just cut to the headline, will you?
Yeah. So back to the topic.
All right.
And I understand that everything in 2026, I'm fascinated by this. And people are like, Scott, you can't. are we good in the state of Alabama? We're fine with merging our military more tightly together statutorily. I bet we don't even have a really good idea how much we do it already, but statutorily tying ourselves to the Israeli military, we're good with that. Y'all are all in. We're all in on. We completely trust a foreign country to look out for our interest. And I think that's where the sticking point for me is. I have great regard for the country of Israel in the fact that they put themselves first. They matter more than everyone else in their world, and that is their view. And as the country, they're doing a very good job of make Israel great again. But if they're always putting themselves first, why would we tie ourselves to them as some sort of quote-unquote equals when we're not equals? We are the muscle. We are the technology, or have been historically. No, Scott, they're way more advanced than us. They're just, look, they got where they are stealing our technology or getting us to give them our technology. And yes, they're making advancements. Absolutely. Yes, they're dominating the world when it comes to things like all the AI, and I mean technologically they're really kicking tail. Partially because a lot of our big tech companies are them. But I just don't understand why that's a good idea, and I don't understand why our folks in Washington, D.C. are head over heels in love with this idea. We trust them more than we trust the Australians. We trust them more than we trust the Japanese. We trust them more than we trust, nobody trusts the British, I don't think, but they're a good example to use. We trust them more than we trust the British, the people who have been our allies supposedly very closely for decades and decades and decades and decades. I just don't understand why this is a good idea, and maybe y'all do. Maybe y'all understand it. But don't get angry with me. You know, if you think it's a great idea, then call and tell me why. Again, I'm falling on the part of we can help our friends. We can be their greatest ally if that's what y'all want. But the tying it together, the giving them access to, like automatic access to our intelligence and all this kind of stuff, they know everything. When historically they have not been the most upfront with their information. How's that? They tell us what they want us to know so that we make decisions that work well for them. It sounds very similar to what the press does to us, does it not?
Come to think of it.
Israel does to the United States government what the press does to the citizens of the United States. We'll give you enough for you to make a decision that benefits us.
We'll tell you what you need to know.
Yeah. So I don't understand it. And look, somebody over there, look, Mike Rogers people, I know they know that I'm talking about this. He's our congressman that is leading the charge to make this happen. Has anybody seen a good reason out of their office other than, golly gee whiz, I think it'd be great. We're the greatest ally. That's just shallow. Scott, would you be? I would be raising even more Cain if this was with some other country. But it just doesn't make sense to me, and it's so frustrating to watch, to be at the place in America's history, 250 years in, where the advice from George Washington himself about not being entangled with foreign powers, one of the things he thought was most important to advise us, and we're like, what does he know? He's a stupid old slave owner from the 1700s. What an idiot. We know how how to move and jive in this new world. It just makes me so mad. We'll be back. Rock and roll. So here it is. I need people to tell me. 1796, George Washington's farewell address. He formally warned, let's see, I got it, it's mine. Formally warned the United States, the young country, the people of it, to remain neutral and avoid getting entangled in foreign affairs. Well, Scott, that is not the same thing. Listen to this. The great rule of conduct for us in regard to foreign nations is in extending our commercial relations. So we'll do business with you. We'll trade with you. To have with them as little political connection as possible. Let me read the exact words
Say
of
that
George
for the people
Washington.
in the back so they can
Again.
hear.
The great rule of conduct for us, which I love how us can be U.S. You know what I'm saying? When George,
clever.
Yes. For us in regard to foreign nations, wait a minute, hold on. Let me get my glasses. Oh, my bad. He had penciled in, unless it was one of our greatest allies in the Middle East. It said that
I did not
in the original.
say that.
Yeah, you couldn't read it because y'all
It was
just,
invisible ink, and
Yes.
it only showed up
if
since
you
1950.
sprinkled it with lemon juice and held a heat source up to it, is written on the back
I
of the
don't
document.
believe you, Scott. You could sell it 6 different ways. I'm not buying it.
The great rule of conduct for us in regard to foreign nations is in extending our commercial relations, to have with them as little political connection as possible. Washington strongly advised the U.S. to avoid permanent alliances with any portion of the foreign world. He believed the nation should only rely on temporary alliances for extraordinary emergencies. Said that he was for trade and economic relationships impartially with all nations, but separating these transactions from political or military entanglements. He warned Americans to be skeptical of foreign nations. Listen to this. This is George Washington. This is not his quote. This is a rephrasing of it. He warned Americans to be skeptical of foreign nations attempting to manipulate domestic politics. You think? Noting that foreign influence is one, this is a quote, foreign influence is one of the most baneful foes of Republican government. George Washington, quote, foreign influence is one of the most baneful foes of Republican government.
Well, who doesn't understand that? It's simple. It's plain.
Our leaders.
Why would you want other people's interests interfering with yours?
Your interest.
Yeah. I mean, take it on a basic individual level or through the city, state, county, whatever you want to do, but it all comes out the same.
You know who?
Do for yourself.
And I'm not going to say.
Act in your best interest.
There's a lot of people who say, they give JFK credit for being the last one that wasn't controlled, the last president that wasn't controlled. I don't know if that's true. I have great regard for Ronald Reagan. I have great regard for Donald Trump. I actually think George W. Bush was probably not personally as controlled. Now, I think Dick Cheney and his boys and all the folks that Daddy Bush put around W were absolutely all in on the one world order stuff. I mean, his dad actually said one world order. Yeah. But it was JFK that said, "Hey, we don't need all this foreign influence." So George Washington was wrong, Mike Rogers. John F. Kennedy was wrong, Mike Rogers. But the congressman from Alabama and the rest of the yahoos running our country are right.
I'm still not buying it.
There's just no need for the things they're doing. I mean, we're 20-something years into the government spying on us. They're not slowing down in any way. The U.S. Supreme Court, luckily, the other day, has made it arguable that all these flock cameras and stuff that we have everywhere are there's a good chance they're unconstitutional. They can't just be knowing where you are and tracking you on. And the people, look, my response to the folks who say, well, if you're not doing anything wrong, I don't have a problem with not doing anything wrong. I don't mean to be offensive, Sky. And some people think it, but that's not an in-depth thinker kind of argument. That's
putting it mildly.
That is a very
kindly.
naive, not understand. Oh, I'll bring it up. My other rant for the morning. I had two possible rants. My other rant was, and look, I'm for him, but for the love, Tommy Tuberville article 1819 News yesterday. He's all in on data centers. Is that the one you saw?
Yes. Very disappointing.
He's all in. We're going to do it. And to me, somebody sent me a text and said, where does that come from? Why? I'm like, from the Business Council of Alabama, in my opinion, allegedly, not accusing y'all of anything down there. I'm just saying that feels like what the business community would say. Well, which one of them is going to make a lot of money? Maybe the people constructing it. I don't know. They're not the big boys, the big tech billionaires and the BlackRocks and the Vanguards and everybody that's pushing this on everybody all across the country. That's not our elites in Alabama. It literally looks like some of our elites are like, hey, I'm in the club too. Yes, I'm for it. I'm for it because it's going to help you. Hey, did you see me, Spike? Did you see me, Spike? I'm here, Spike.
Good boy.
It gets that feel. And I would love to ask the senator, what exactly do we get from these? What exactly is it doing for me? Well, we got to have it. It's the next greatest thing. We got to have it. Really, we got to have it. Well, yeah. Well, why does it have to be in Alabama? What? Because this is all international stuff, right? Computers, wires, everything. It's just out there. It's the internet, the cloud, all this. Well, so why do you have to build them in Alabama? What advantage do we get for having it here? Oh, well, we've built it, Scott. We make a bunch of money building it. How many employees is it going to take to run it?
Not many.
Not many.
No, it's not a lot of jobs there in those data centers.
And how long till a computer, little robots just running up and down the aisles, changing out the things that need to be changed? You tell me that's not happening? That's part of the promise of this whole thing. So I've got some more because he has a reason why we should rally. You know what it is? And then I'll address it on the other side.
I can't wait. What is it?
Because everybody, the people who are against it are just being ginned up by China. China's trying to make us stop. China's trying to get Alabama. China's trying to get Scott to be against data centers because China wants to be having all the advantages. I was thinking about that a lot on the other side. We'll be back.
Alabama Unfiltered Radio with Scott Beason.
Well, we're back, everybody. Now, look, Scott Beason, all you do, you're always just for the Republicans. Who says that? Find another show that is more critical of Republicans than this show. Now, I'm for what Republicans tell us they're for. I am. But I'm not one of those people that just says, well, if the Republicans are for it, I'm for it. If Donald Trump's for it, I'm not automatically for it. I'll definitely listen to it. Tommy Tuberville's for it. I'm for it. No, Tommy Tuberville's got some really good things. He's being bashed for his stance against Islam again. Oh, you're going to make it harder? Look, he's right. He is right. Islam does not have a place in the United States if its adherents believe in what Islam and the Quran say. It is about conquest, and it lays out how and when you have the conquest. That's just the truth. I mean, I hate that people wish it wasn't true. I get it. I wish eating donuts didn't make me fat. I mean, I really, really wish it, and I really, really like them. But they're not great for me. You know what I'm saying, Sky?
I do. That wishing stick isn't that effective.
The magic wishing stick,
as much as you want it,
doesn't get it done.
No, often doesn't. It's not magic.
So the article at 1819 News is written by Caleb Taylor. Headline, "We're going to do data centers. Tuberville defends data center projects in Alabama amid the backlash." I don't really understand why he necessarily took that on. He was doing a speech to the Alabama Sheriff's Association. We're going to have neighborhoods that are safe. Check. I'm for it. Every city, every county, every place in Alabama, we're going to stand behind you 100%. He says he needs to hire more state troopers.
Okay.
Can we not have them giving speeding tickets all the time? I don't know what else, but can we have them doing some state trooper kind of like going to the places that are really bad and let's try to not get shot. How's that? Can we cut down on drug dealing? Can we stop human trafficking? Can we have a trooper force that are like, holy crap, the troopers are here. We better stop doing what we're doing. Can we do that? I'm okay with that. I'm not saying we don't need more troopers, but that's kind of a normal, hey, I'm a Republican running for governor. What are you going to do about law enforcement? I'm going to hire more troopers. Okay, that's like they give you that as a handout, right? You're supposed to say that.
Standard
saying. Now, to his credit, he basically said we're going to have to, we're going to prioritize our spending to do that. Now, that's a plus. Okay. A governor that does that is going to be a rock star.
Sure. Fiscal conservatism.
Yes.
That's what I'm voting for.
That's what it looks like, he says. Now, I'll give him another warning. Be careful of the quagmire of mental health. That's one of the ones he brought up, by the way, Sky. Needing more money, needing more availability for your jails, needing more help from mental health. I'm like, be careful with that tar baby. Because you start getting over there and people start making everything a mental health. And then you start finding out some people believe just being a pure out bad criminal is mental health. And you start, it's a quagmire. I don't know what his vision is on that. But back to the data centers. He says, I think there's 27 states that have already said, oh, we're not going to build data centers. We're not going to do that. It makes too much noise. It's going to ruin the climate. Bull crap, Tuberville added. I mean, they're listening to all this nonsense they see on social media that's coming from China because China does not want us to grow. The state of Alabama will grow. We're going to do data centers. It will help you tremendously. How is that? I said that. The tax money that comes from those things is unbelievable for schools, for law enforcement, for anything that's done. Is that property tax, guy?
What else could it be?
I mean, we don't tax data, do we? Are we going to have a data tax?
I haven't heard of that one.
Have you heard from anybody that these things are just tax machines? No. I mean, just income machines for the state? I've not heard that.
No more than any other plant what else can you tax but the property that they're built on?
He says, we're not the richest state in the country, but I'm telling you, we're fixing to make a big move on it. I like winning championships. I like winning. I do not like losing. We're not going to lose. A lot of that comes with being able to grow the state in the way that it needs to be grown to make sure we're ahead of the times. China, I got a whole thing. God, I see people up there, but I've got a question about this China thing. China's going to beat us to it. Maybe that's okay.
That's supposed to scare me?
Am I okay with China beating us to it? We'll be back.
Scott Beason, president of ARP, Alabama Recovering Politician.
Alabama Unfiltered Radio with Scott Beason.
always have to start coughing right before I get myself revved up. I'm ready to go. I just realized that I didn't put on my commentator's robe for the show. I'm wearing my T-shirt.
That's what's wrong.
That probably has a hole. You know what? I like T-shirts that have pockets, Sky.
So do I.
But they always get a hole right there at the top corner of the pocket. Is that planned obsolescence or what? Because, a guy can be like, look, the hole's not very big. But if it gets bigger than just the end of a pin, your wife is like going to retire the T-shirt.
What you put in that pocket, man? What you
Gobs of money.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Just stashes of money. I go down to my basement. I get one of those paper bags that the lobbyists used to deliver the cash with. I just get out the next one, stuff all that money in my pocket, and just walk on.
Well, those gold bars are pretty heavy.
Yeah, they're hard to carry. I keep them in my front pocket, but you got to wear suspenders when you have those.
And then everybody knows what's up.
Yeah, like, hey, what you got in your pocket?
Yeah.
You just happy to see me? I'm like, no, it's a gold bar. Do you think people who listen to the show the first time realize we're being sarcastic? You know what I'm saying?
Probably not.
All right, last couple of things before I got to get the phone calls.
All right, here we go.
The China thing. Tommy Tuberville, everybody, the guy, the Shark Tank gajillionaire that wants to build one of these huge AI data centers too. All of us that are opposed to data centers or have questions about data centers, we're all being led astray by the Pied Pipers of China. And China wants to be ahead of us, and they're going to be ahead of us on AI. If we don't put a data center in everybody's backyard, and we don't have them in Alabama, can we not let Georgia have 2 more and us not have any? Does that hurt us? We can't run a wire from here to there. Or Alabama data can't. So here's my question. So what if we don't do all this and China gets ahead, okay? And we live the way we want to live, and China's going to take over the world, and we get whipped, and we die because China just destroys us. Okay, is that really the end of the world? Because here's my thing: what are we doing with the data centers? In my opinion, we're just becoming more and more and more of a surveillance state. Everything has to be out in the cloud. Everything has to be in the data center. Have you noticed? I know it's the kids that are complaining, so we don't pay attention to what they're saying. But that, they buy a song from their favorite artist, and they pay some money for it. They don't have a CD.
No.
They don't have a tape. They buy these songs, and then they violate the terms of service from the cloud provider, the server provider, the data center provider, and they say, well, you're turned off. You don't own any of that. All these companies are migrating their stuff out to these data centers. They don't have anything on their own. So somebody else knows everything they're doing. All of it's scannable. Everything comes with a subscription now, Sky.
Right. And mentioning the songs quickly, often they're copyrighted to a certain thing like CBS Music or Sony or whatever. And then those contracts expire, and that piece of music that you bought, that you owned, that you paid for, you no longer own it.
It's gone.
It's gone.
Right.
That's it.
And they're doing that with games. They're doing it with
movies.
Same
thing. Yes.
They're doing
you don't own it.
They're doing it with, you used to have a little program that would help you draw cool little things on your computer. Now that's a subscription service. You used to buy copies of Word and what's the Excel and all that. Now you got to pay a subscription for that. So you got this AI thing out there, and all your stuff's out there doing the data centers, keeping it all for you. Man, you're the best business around. And all of a sudden pops up on your screen, hey, your subscription now went from $200 a month to $500 a month. And you're like, I don't want to do it. No.
Yeah, but you owned it. You thought that was the way it was sold.
And they turn off access to the stuff that you did, but you didn't really own it because when you agreed to the terms of service, you might not have done it. And then here's the other part. Oh, we don't want to be overrun by the Chinese, right? Then why are our leaders spending every day trying to make us more and more like China? Where they've got a camera that watches everything you do, where they're trying to figure out everything you say. They're listening to you at all times. We are a surveillance state. So what do I care if it's the Chinese? Half of our companies are giving all our data to the Chinese anyway. Between China and Israel, I don't know if we know anything about ourselves. They have everything. So what's the big threat to me? Oh, well, the Chicoms are going to run it. You want to be with the Chicoms? Well, y'all are acting like the Chinese too. So where's the threat is my question, Sky.
Exactly. Well, that Chinese boogeyman is very strongly related to the Russian boogeyman.
Yeah.
It's a scare. It works. It's a scare tactic. The Chinese are the Russians are gonna, it's their fault, always hanging on them because it works. I don't like this at all from Tuberville. I really don't.
I just didn't
and
think
none of it makes sense. None of it holds water either as far as where's all this big tax revenue supposed to come from?
All the money we're going to make off the data centers.
I've read 3 different articles on his talk the other day, and none of them get into the details
of how it's going to happen.
How this is going to be an economic boom for the state.
Yeah.
How?
Yeah.
Exactly. I don't know.
Remember from Braveheart, I fight and you may die, run and you will live, at least a while. And dying in your beds many years from now, would you be willing to trade all the days from this day to that for one chance, just one chance to come back here and tell our enemies that they may take our lives, but they'll never take our freedom? Right on. It's always you gotta do what the big boys want, or the boogeyman's coming to get you.
Right.
And hey, don't forget you might get one more dollar. Alabama, you need to do everything for $1. Isn't that what we do? Isn't that what we complain about in education? We help wreck our education system by just prostituting ourselves for every federal dollar. And then we'll prostitute ourselves for every investment dollar. I'm like, for the love, can't we just stop? But somebody told the senator, oh, no, it's big money, lots of jobs until it's built. And once it's built, where'd all those jobs go? And how do we know who's doing the building? Anyway,
it's all pie in the sky currently.
I know. It's time to start another topic. Let's go out to Soldier Boy. Soldier Boy, welcome to the program, and thank you for your patience, but I have a list of things I've got to get to.
You got to, I'm going to say a prayer for your wife if you have to talk that damn much.
Well, thank you, Soldier Boy. Do I need to let you go? Because I'm not in the mood for that.
Oh, absolutely.
All right, see you.
Oh, absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely. That's you're being rude.
Thanks, buddy.
Okay.
Appreciate
all
you.
Right. Well, that was cool.
He wasn't on topic. I don't know why he's mad at me. I mean, if he was talking about what we're talking about.
Don't start your call with a complaint.
You've told him that before, right?
I have.
Because what it makes happen is new callers, people who don't spend a lot of time calling, and I'm not mad at anybody, but you're telling the new callers, hey, if you call, you'll have to wait. But new callers usually are calling about the topic. They're usually on topic because that's why they're wanting to call. And then and they go to the front because they are new.
May I just a little
just a little
tutorial on talk radio and how it's designed to work is the host begins a subject, a topic, if you will, and then if it is interesting to the listener, he says, I'd like to contribute to this discussion.
Yes.
That's generally how it was set up and designed to work.
Right.
Often, and I'm not cutting on the callers. I value all the callers.
Yeah,
all the
we
listeners.
like them all. We do.
But often what happens, we have regular callers that are not interested in the topic,
right,
or they're not listening to the topic at all, and they want to call in and express their opinion
on
a totally different subject, which is fine.
Right.
However, you must expect the host to finish his discussion before he comes to yours.
Right, because I can't go back and start my discussion.
No, that's horrible radio.
And then sometimes
you don't go
we
into
get
reverse.
the folks who want to call with their topic, and then they want to quiz me on their topic, and I'm like, I might not even know what you're talking about. So how am I going to have the answers to your questions because I don't know where we're going. Right. So anyway, and I don't know how I'm rude for not going for. I don't know. I don't get it. I don't understand. Am I at a complete loss?
They feel like Soldier Boy felt like he had to wait too long.
But it wasn't on the topic.
Exactly. That's what I'm expressing. Is
so if you're not on topic, why don't you wait and call when we get to that? We might get to that topic. You know how many times
Yes,
people
generally-
call with their topic, which is like the second topic after the one I'm doing?
It happened yesterday.
Yes.
It absolutely happened yesterday. And you were doing your best to segue to that subject.
So that it would work right.
Continuous flow and
Yeah.
sound right. Yeah.
And then they were mad too.
But-
Anyway.
Yeah. You can't win sometimes. But again, we value all the callers, all the listeners. But please understand, in radio, you want to constantly keep moving forward, not
Right.
switching into reverse. It's very disrespectful to the average listener to do that.
Anyway, so you look, I
help
know
us-
if
help
it
us
made
move
people
forward.
feel a little weird, I get it because I don't like the stress either. But thank you. Let's go to Charles I of Dewey. Charles I, we got a minute.
First, yeah, well, not even that. We better
Take a break.
Yeah, we're a little.
What
late.
does Charles I do? What do you want to talk about? Oh, data centers.
Data centers.
Hey, that
which
is a
the
great topic. We'll be
There you
back.
go. That's how you do it.
Scott Beason, president of ARP, Alabama Recovering Politicians.
Welcome back in, everybody. Well, we got a full bank of calls. We appreciate that, and we'll get out to your phone calls as quickly as we can. Charles, the first of Dewey, welcome back to the program. Hope you're well.
I'm great, Scott. Thank you for having me on here, and
yes, sir.
I enjoy every time, and I always try to be on topic.
Well, thank you.
Now, what I did was I woke up about 3:30 this morning and wrote an article. It's on my Charles the First of Dewey, D-U-A-N-E.
Yeah.
It's a very good article. I really get down into the nitty-gritty of the underlying reasons of yesterday's announcement by Tuberville, really, even though I don't say Tuberville in the article.
Right.
And here's the thing. Doug Jones is going to pretend like he wants to have a moratorium. He doesn't want one. You know why?
Why?
Because these AI data centers are using labor union workers. And if he gets too far off the deep end, unless they realize he's lying, he loses. It's painful to him. Got me?
Yeah, it could hurt him. But remember, they know that they've lost most of the union.
They know that they're lying. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But now here's what's going on. First of all, I want to tell you, another whole aspect this week has occurred with the data centers.
Okay.
They have determined that they want to put quantum computers in with the data centers.
Mm-hmm.
Engineering-wise, this won't work. The quantum computer requires complete non-movement and extreme, let's say 100 below zero temperatures.
Okay.
And the data centers make heat and vibration, but they think that the AI can better keep the quantum from having noise. Remember, my patents take care of all that.
Yeah,
So,
I remember.
Now, what's going on here is all you have to do, Scott, is you go look at the donors of Senator Tuberville.
Okay.
And you will find a state developer. You'll find several of them, but you'll find one specific estate developer that is already using nepotism and cronyism and wants to potentially purchase lands from poor people or whatever might happen to them to become data centers. Are you following me?
Yeah, I'm following.
Now, Mo Brooks was on Dale's show this morning and said, listen, it needs to be a case-to-case basis. He says, what you're not thinking of, Dale, is near these data centers, there's a 10 degrees rise in temperature for the neighboring houses. Have you got me?
Yeah, I got you.
Now,
that's a
so
lot,
all
by
of
the
those
way.
things. Yes, it is a lot, and it is a lot. It is a lot to do. Every time I'm on Grok or you look up something on AI, okay, It's a fairly hard thing that makes your phone kind of grind a little bit.
Yeah.
That uses a glass and a half of water to cool. Have you got me?
I got
At the data center. So just imagine 1 million people Googling something, that much water every single time goes for it.
Seems
so,
rough.
Listen, so read my article because I can give you the names of the persons that will shock you, that you know exactly who they are, that are in my article and identified. And not only that, pay attention to the fact that Tuberville said we could follow Florida in what we're going to do with the prisons. In other words, that's your Vanguard. You get me?
Yeah, Vanguard,
That's your
BlackRock, all the private prison
core
stuff.
Civic.
Yeah.
Yes, that means our brand new prisons will become a money-making thing that only cost us throughout the years because we won't be paying our own guards. We will be paying the price of Vanguard. Got me? And
Yeah,
not only that, it will be to keep more people going to prison and keep them in prison instead of any rehabilitation on earth. And our taxes will go up to pay Vanguard like the Texas and Florida ways of doing things. And somebody needs to tell Tuberville he needs to take a deep breath before he starts just saying things. I mean, because I don't want no Doug Jones. Of course, I'm writing in a candidate that's going to be the most pro non-AI, and that's what I'm going to do. And it may by default cause him to lose. The Republican Party needs to, especially if he's found that he doesn't live here, find somebody else, Will Ainsworth or something, that's going to be a better, nicer person to be running our state. That's my feelings on it.
Thanks, Charles the First. That's what we do here. You get to state your feelings. We appreciate it. Sky, let's go to who's next on this on topic, Sky?
Red Top's on topic.
Red Top, welcome to the program. I hope you're well. Happy Thursday to you.
Good morning.
Good morning.
And it's nice and warm out here. I'm taking the day off to clean up a 1,100-pound tree limb that rolled on top of my house.
Oh man,
wow.
Did it hurt? Did it mess up your house bad?
No.
Good.
It's a miracle. Boy, do I have a guardian angel, because I was also laying outside on the back in my food court. I was out in the food court when this happened.
Food court. Yeah, I got you. So you were
And,
outside. You heard it hit?
I felt it hit in shake the foundation of my house. And let me tell you, I've got one of those real low-hanging trees like a live oak.
Yeah.
And this tree we now think is about 110 years old.
Wow.
And it was a dead limb. And one thing these elms do is they grow limbs on top of each other that are 100 feet long.
That's amazing.
So this old, probably 110-year-old limb finally gave way from the weight of the other limb and dropped down gently 3 feet on my roof and kind of rolled and tilted. It is 14 feet long and about a foot in diameter.
Yeah, that's going to be tough to. You're going to cut it yourself, and those
I
chunks are going to be heavy.
Believe it or not, I rolled that rascal off my roof. And I had to cut part of it off. You know what a sine wave looks like, don't you?
I do.
Just like an S turned on the sine. This thing is 14-foot-long sine wave, a foot thick.
That's crazy.
It is massive. Okay, now I'm going to get back on topic here.
Yes, sir.
Data centers. I will relate this back to what I said about Patrick Henry, and they took the right to property out of the Bill of Rights.
Okay.
They want not only your house, your car, your boat. This is why I don't own a boat, because the state really owns it. They can take it away from me any time. And the policeman that pulled me over basically told me he could take my truck anytime he wants to because of my suspended license. So what do I own? And this goes for your intellectual property as well. Everything you send up in the cloud or to a data center is no longer yours. Am I right?
That's what it seems like to me. Look, I'm not, a data center attorney, but I've done enough of those. I agree to the terms of service that I haven't read on my phone to have a pretty good feeling that once I send it up, it's probably not all mine.
Yeah, and everything is sent up now. All your data, all your pictures and everything, whether you like it or not, because none of these companies are holding data. It's just too much of it.
Right.
It's so you have no right to anything. I would like. Sounds like a bizarre idea, but call our state senators and representatives. Say we want an amendment to the Constitution added that says right to property. Damn it! Wouldn't that be a revolutionary
That's not a bad idea.
Yeah, I need to check the Alabama Constitution. It may actually have right to property in it already.
Well,
we have a really good statement of rights, or whatever that name, Declaration of Rights, in the Alabama Constitution. Now look,
we do.
Not that anybody in the state has read that
we
in
just don't go
100
by
years. It's in there, but
and an update on things y'all make fun of me of, and that's okay because I'm usually right when y'all make fun of me.
Yeah.
Yesterday, the European Union has made an agreement with Vladimir Zelensky and Kyiv, 1 billion euros for advanced drones, and because they lead the world in attack, one-way, two-way drones to destroy other drones, and now Zelensky, Trump told Zelensky he could do the Patriots, and they said it's going to take a year and a half. Zelensky, I saw him personally on French News yesterday. He will be making Patriots by January 1st, 2027.
Well, good for him. Great deal. Thanks, Red Top.
He's kicking butt. Roll Tide, go Trump.
Thank you. By the way, the Alabama Constitution contains a dedicated Declaration of Rights that guarantees citizens inherent liberties, including the right to acquire, possess, and protect property.
There you go. One of the finest state constitutions there is.
Our Declaration of Rights is really, really good. And like I said, I'm not sure any of our judges have read that Declaration of Rights in the last 100 years, but it's over there somewhere. We got to take a break. We'll get back to your calls. We'll be back.
Scott Beason, president of ARP, Alabama Recovering Politicians.
We are back, everybody. Let's get back to some of these phone calls. We got one more data center. Then we got Islam, which that's a very interesting topic that we need to discuss all the time, which is something we've discussed slightly today.
Certainly.
Let's go back to Sam from Pike County. Sam, welcome to the program.
Hey, Scott, thank you for taking my call, bro.
Hey, thank you for listening and calling in.
Oh, man, listen. I found your show long ago, Scott. I enjoy your opinion and what you've got to say.
Thank you.
And, yeah, man, I know. Listen, that's why I pick at you a little bit about being on hold, but it's part of the deal. And, I have good days and bad like everybody else, and if I'm not into it, I don't need to be playing the game.
Yeah, well, you know what's funny about it, Sam, is that I've got people that through the years have got my number, and you know how many times that they're like, "Hey, I'm trying to call in, but I can't get in." I mean, Sky only has so many lines, and that's why we move new people up, and that's why people want to be a part, and we try to do what we can.
Absolutely, it should feel like a celebration on the radio.
You got it.
But it was when all that broke loose is when I called in, and because what I got is quick. But lines were full. That's what you want, man. It's, people like you, Scott. I know you don't believe it, but it's true.
Thank you.
And Scott.
Absolutely.
And who would have thought that? If Scott got you a few tomatoes.
Oh, man.
Man. I'm coming to Montgomery. I'll be up there a little over an hour.
Awesome.
You got it, buddy.
You're a prince, dude.
But listen, okay, Scott, here's what I call it. I figure it's always keeping it simple.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Alabama Power, insurance. They say Alabama Power, insurance, Alpha Insurance runs this state. Well, think about a data center. Alabama Power sells power. Data center buys power.
Okay.
So I figure they want it. They got it. And the insurance, there's nobody working there. OSHA, all these people are happy. They don't get the insurance. Think about it. Hey, it's funny, but yeah.
Yeah,
Nobody's hurting themselves. Insurance got to be low. So I'm just putting that on the table. There are those that just want that dollar bill.
Yeah.
And, but all over YouTube, there's people. I saw some family in just Georgia is upset. They're getting displaced for a data center, and it's starting to pop up. People pushing back a little bit, but we'll see. We're going to find out, I guess.
Yeah.
That's all I got.
Hey, thanks, Sam. I appreciate you, buddy.
Thank you, bro.
Good call.
Hey, I'll be up here in a little bit.
All right, Sam.
Thank y'all.
Thanks,
All
sir.
right. Let's go to Papa B.
What a
Papa
guy.
B, welcome to the program.
Hey, guys.
Hey, Papa B, how are you?
I'm doing great. Just everybody take a deep breath of those data center things. It's not the coming of the Antichrist here. We're going to make it.
Well, it's going to help the Antichrist, but it's probably not the coming of the Antichrist.
Well, I mean, we're going to all get there, but hopefully, at least I'm not planning on staying.
Yeah, I hope the whole idea of getting out early, from school works. I'm for that.
Me too. So about this Islam mess. So, we have freedom of religion in this country. Okay, fine. Well, every freedom is bound by, a use of it that is proper and appropriate. The common example everybody cites is, you can't yell, fire in a crowded theater. You got freedom of, expression, freedom of speech, but if you use that freedom in a way that's going to harm people, well, that's another story.
Right.
We got to pay attention here, because there are people with ill will that will use our freedoms as a weapon against us, and Islam is one of those particular religions that will do so, and has demonstrated that they will, and as planned and as stated, they will. It's not like they're making a big secret of it. This is what they plan to do,
right?
And they will go ahead and carry it out. One of the, I don't know, justices a long time ago, was it Jack Jackson? I can't think of his name, but he famously said, the Constitution is not a suicide pact.
Good point.
And so I think we need to apply those kinds of principles. It's the spirit of the law, the spirit of the Constitution, of freedom, and that is respecting each other's freedoms. You know, the communists, they want to install those people that. So it's the same thing. And I want you to also notice, if you will, how easily the Islamist cause fits hand in glove with the communist cause. It's kind of about the same.
You notice that too?
Mm-hmm. No, I agree with you. Sky and I talk sometimes. I don't want to throw him under the bus, but so many of these these different groups are on the same page when it comes to being against the West, being against freedom, being against Christianity, all those kinds of things. And then, you know, they should be in opposition oftentimes, but they seem to mesh together. Look how much Islam and the militant LGBTQ movement meshes together. And and then we had the story where the gay crews, those Islamic countries wouldn't even let them off the ship to visit the country. Did y'all see that story?
Yes.
Yeah,
they are diametrically opposed.
Right.
On those fundamental issues, yet they unite against the West.
Yes.
Well, I want to say one other thing about that.
Just keep asking yourself why. What brings them together? What is the uniting factor of the far left and Islam? Just keep thinking about it.
Oh, yeah. No,
You'll get there. You'll get there. Okay. Sorry, Papa B. Go ahead, man.
Well, and think about that, like the, I guess, hypocrisy of the Islamic when they ban the gay folks over there from coming ashore, whatever.
Yeah.
Well, they are perfectly fine with homosexuality, having a man-boy sex.
Mm-hmm.
In many of the, expressions of Islam. That's, a little bit of, not so much living up to what they think. So, but anyway, I digress. But I just wanted y'all to think about that. I appreciate you letting me call. I'm not going to be one of those folks that don't take a breath. Just 15 points. Okay?
You got it, Papa B. I appreciate you, buddy. So we got to take a break, and then we have our World Cup update with Roke on Tour. Big events. It's kind of interesting, and I have a take on part of what I saw from the highlights from yesterday as well. Okay. We'll have that. We'll be back.
Scott Beason, president of ARP, Alabama Recovering Politicians.
Welcome back in, everybody. Last third half, Alabama Unfiltered Radio. Do not forget the podcast, 1819 News, the podcast with Brian Dawson. You can go check that out over at YouTube. And while you're there, check us out as well and join and subscribe here. But you will enjoy his podcast. You can also find it at any other place where you usually hunt for and listen to a podcast, but YouTube is the one that he would prefer. And so go check it out, 1819 News, the podcast. Let's get back out to your phone calls. Butterbean, welcome to the program. Is Road Tour still on there? Did he?
No, he's gone.
He's gone. Okay.
Departed. Yes.
Butterbean, welcome to the program.
How you doing, man?
Man, it's another day in paradise. How are you?
Well, same here.
Yeah, absolutely.
Although I will say this, Tommy got me a little wound up about these data centers.
About the data center thing? Do you think he was... You know, it sounded to me like he was given the talking point as was given to him by the business elite in Alabama. He might change his mind as he looks at the topic. You don't know, but he got you going, huh?
Well, I'm sort of like Charles I. So he had a great call about it, and I kind of think along those lines too. So, well, anyway, so I wanted to kind of touch on little history.
Okay.
Little history. We're going to discuss a couple of quote Nazi sympathizers and anti-Semites.
Okay.
And that's Charles Lindbergh, the aviator, and Joe Kennedy Sr.
Okay.
So Charles Lindbergh, the aviator, we'll touch on him first. His dad was a congressman from Minnesota who vehemently opposed the Federal Reserve.
Well, that'll make you popular.
Yes, it will.
Mm-hmm.
And so, moving forward to the 1930s, he had the Lindbergh baby, the capture of his baby, and he was killed, his baby. And, he was, quote, supposedly anti-Semite and was an isolationist somewhat. He wanted us to just stay within our boundaries, stay out of the war, later on and everything. Well, Joe Kennedy Sr. was the same way.
Okay.
He was the ambassador to England in 1940. FDR removed him because he was opposed to us getting into the war, and he said he's quoted as saying we were trying to be drugged into the war by a certain group of people.
I did not know that. I never was taught that in school.
Oh, well, I know they don't teach stuff like that. So if you look at Joe Kennedy, he was opposing these people the whole time. So let's go talk about the Kennedy curse.
Okay.
Joe Jr. was an aviator in the war and died in a non-combat plane crash, and FDR's son was his squadron commander.
Really?
Now, if you move past, I'm pretty sure that's, So, how he died, I don't know. It was a non-combat plane crash. That's plane crash number one. Okay? So then you go to JFK, who made the secret society speech about, and he was butting heads with Ben Gurion, the first prime minister of Israel, over inspecting their nuclear facilities over in Israel.
Right.
And they were really going at it. So he also made the secret society speech where he said, and I quote, "We are opposed around the world by monolithic global conspiracy." And he talked about how they operated, which is basically how they operate.
Now, let me ask you this, Butterbean, because I've often wondered. I have a friend who has another radio show, and he plays that clip at the start of his show, and I'm just going to show you my ignorance probably, But for the longest time, I thought he was talking about communist Soviet, the USSR. And you're telling me he was not?
Well, it sort of is. It blends into communism. It's all.
Oh, no. Yeah, now I do know now how it works into communism. But you're saying he wasn't simply talking about the Soviet Union.
No, exactly. He was in talks with Khrushchev in a clandestine fashion, trying to work out a peace deal, and they were kind of on the same page. But yeah, he ended up, killed, assassinated.
Right.
So that's number two on the Kennedy curse. So now, then you got Bobby, who was running in '68. He was killed, assassinated. One of their sisters died in a plane crash.
Okay. Then you got what, John Jr. or whatever, right?
That's 3 plane crashes, 3 separate and distinct plane crashes for the same family. Yes.
Yeah, if I was a Kennedy, I would stay out of planes. Now the real liberal Kennedys, though, they kind of got a pass, right?
Well, I think my theory, and I don't know for sure, but you had Chappaquiddick. So Pitt's the younger brother,
mm-hmm.
and I think they kind of, have maybe. I don't know, if you can't beat them, join them, or you better. I don't know.
That would make sense. Yeah.
You've been battered and beaten around, and as a family, and you just kind of pull your horns in. Maybe I don't know.
Well, you kind of learn your lesson. I mean, I can understand it. After 3 or 4, you're like, I might take the hint.
Yeah, and if you look at these data centers, it's all blending together. Israel, the data centers, the whole works, and I just it's kind of frustrating. Yeah, I'm kind of looking at the move to rural Alabama, and I'm like, where do I move that I feel pretty certain I won't have a data center in my backyard before it's all over and done with.
Good luck.
Well, Butterbean, I know you're in the technology world, okay, and we don't necessarily have to talk about that for everybody, but I keep asking, and I don't ever get a good answer, whether I'm looking at it from AI or whoever. What exactly are these AI data centers doing? I mean, it can't be that they're just helping us make little memes and write songs that there's got to be more to it than that. And I think they're digitizing our whole lives.
That's right. You really did a good job earlier in the show describing what they are doing, because think about this. You got computers now that you buy that have a terabyte of data or more on, terabyte hard drives and everything like that. You put all that stuff, your personal stuff, on that hard drive.
Right.
But they want everything in the cloud, and they're gathering all this information on you. To me, I mean, they're not.
Yeah.
It's not about. I mean, I think we got almost 5,000 data centers in the United States now, and I don't think China has even 1,000. So I think I saw a number that was under 1,000. Now, can I verify that? I don't know. I mean, I don't know the real answer to that question, but still, I just don't know if I'm buying it. That's what they're about. I think they're gathering information and they're holding everything that's ever documented. And I also think that as they get us to adapt to going to Grok and what have you, now Grok and that is giving you pretty correct answers a lot of time, right?
Yeah, a lot of times, but not all the time, right?
But what if over time they start giving you the narrative they want you to believe, And you don't go back and read old history books or old books by authors, or you know what I'm saying, the Constitution even. You know what I'm saying? It gives you incorrect answers about that.
Oh, there's no doubt. I'm looking at one right now, Butterbean, and so I go to AI. It's the Google AI. I'm asking it about freedom of religion and the intent of the Founding Fathers. It throws out the Treaty of Tripoli hogwash, and so I keep asking it questions. And on the third or fourth question, it finally gives me well, you're right. A lot of people said so-and-so for a long time, and I'm like, well, why didn't you give me that at the start or at the second time I asked? And so eventually my fourth or fifth question will never be answered, and history will be wiped away. And then we're controlled, we're managed. I don't know that people realize what we're headed for.
Well, like I said, you got a terabyte computer probably in your house, you know, and you can put all your data on there that you ever have, but they try to force you into that cloud stuff.
Yeah.
You know, and then it's all backed up where you have unlimited backups and all that kind of stuff. Well, you can do all that stuff yourself. It's a little bit of effort, but you can do it all yourself. Mm-hmm. They don't want you doing that. They want it all up there. And like you said, I bought books. So I got a series of books that I bought. And I bought the Kindle versions too now. I have these from when I was a kid.
Right.
And so it's a whole 70, 80 book set.
Okay.
Now there's a certain subset within that group that I bought like every book.
Hey, Butterbean, we got to take a break. I want people to hear this on the other side if you can. And so we'll be right back.
Scott Beason, president of ARP, Alabama Recovering Politicians.
Alabama Unfiltered Radio with Scott Beason.
Welcome back in, everybody. Let's see. There we go. All right, let's get back to Butterbean. Butterbean, you were, golly, I've lost my train of thought. You were saying something very, very important.
Yes, about the cloud and how things could be revised.
Oh yeah, we're revising things. Yes.
Yeah, so I bought the subset to that set of books I got. I bought a subset of it, all the Kindle versions, right? The Amazon Kindle.
Okay, so you have the real book. Flip the pages. Got the good paper smell.
That's right.
And then you got the Kindle, the digital version. Okay.
Yeah, because when I got my phone, I got it with me all the time. If I want to read something somewhere, or if I'm off somewhere, I don't have to have the book, right? So anyway, I bought this subset, and I read them over and over and over. I've read them since I was a teenager. They're just good Western books by Louis L'Amour.
Yeah.
And I tend to read some of them. But anyway, so over the years, probably about the past 8 or 10 maybe or something like that, I bought the whole subset. And if I don't read them for a while, like a couple, 2 or 3 years, 4 years or something, they just disappear out of my library, and I got to go buy them again.
Yeah, like you don't remember. Yeah, no, I see exactly. And how would you prove that you bought them the first time? And if they don't have a record of it, and then
and Amazon Music's done the same thing with me on music that I've uploaded, off of CDs from back in the '80s,
right?
Rock CDs or something, and they've done the same thing. And then also I purchased online, some individual songs from Amazon.
Mm-hmm.
And then Amazon Music switched over and did some things, and I lost some of that. And it just and why did they have to do that? I don't know. And I was uploading it, to whatever the music cloud was. That stuff.
I didn't think about that when people talk about everything being in the cloud and everything being digitized. I've asked people before when they're talking about digital currency, and say you have, I don't know, $300 in your bank account, and everything's digital. You might have a deposit sheet, you might not, and you go in, and the bank says, well, you have $150, and you're like, no, I had $300, and they're like, well, no, we got you got $150. Well, what are you gonna do? Who are you going to complain to? You going to complain to the federal government who also says you have $150?
I know. That's exactly right. I mean, if you look at the last 20 years when this all really started accelerating rapidly,
right?
They get you hooked on convenience, and it's cool. I mean, it's great. It makes things at first easier. But I don't know, now it's like a bell curve. It goes up. It goes up very good for a while, and then it starts going back the other way. And now it's going the other way, in my opinion, where, like you said, all of a sudden the convenience, they got you so hooked on it that you're kind of stuck, and you're kind of dependent upon it a little bit in some ways. Yeah. And they, like you said, they can, maybe wipe out some money that should be in your account, because it's really all on the computer anyway. I mean, that's how the Federal Reserve works.
Yeah.
You go in and you get a loan, and you just created some money.
Right. Yeah, they just make it up. It's the greatest deal ever. They can lend you fake money, but you have to use legitimate work hours and labor to pay them back the money that was imaginary on their end, but on your end, it takes your labor to pay it off. That's how they become unbelievably wealthy. Here's the last one, Butterbean. I know we got to roll. Is that I think about how all this AI and everything works, and they know everything about me. They know where I go, when I didn't go, and people are like, I don't care. You're not doing anything wrong. You know how easy it would be, Sky and Butterbean, to if you had AI and you were a financial business of some kind, credit card company, and you just said, you know what? I think there were 2 more times last month that Scott, just go ahead and bill him for going to the donut store. And you just take $5 out of my account. And I look at my receipt and it says, $5 to the donut store. If I look at my statement, and I'm like, well, yeah, I mean, I went 17 times. I guess I went 18 times. And they do that to 1 million people. That's a lot of money.
Well, you're onto it now. You can create an alternate history with the technology, the capability of AI.
Yeah.
And these data centers, more and more and more of them. You can create backup and verify a complete alternate history, and not just on your donut
And you
shop
take my
visit.
money, and they say, well, prove that you didn't go to the donut store. How am I going to do that?
Or prove anything else.
Well, I'll tell you something that you probably haven't noticed.
Okay.
Is the bank charges for credit card transactions, and they kind of haven't gone up a little bit. You know, multiply that by 300 and something million people, or whatever. You know, you just made a boatload of money, but they keep going up, and they keep driving you into those bank charges.
Yeah.
You know, and it appears transparent to you, but the business is going to pass it on to you.
Oh, there's no doubt about it. They, the 1 or 2% wasn't enough. They got to have a little individual charge for it.
Now, they keep escalating it a little bit, and then and then same thing with these credit card rates. They start you out with 0 or 0.5%, and next thing you know, if you don't pay it off in time, you're up at 24%.
Yeah, no, it's nuts. You know what's funny about the whole credit card business is they act like, well, you got to charge a fee to be able to run this business. I'm like, are you kidding me? You are monitoring. I'm going to use a term that's inaccurate, I'm sure. You're gathering gigabits, terabytes of information off of me every day, but you want to claim that this little transaction of $4 that could be done on an old modem is some sort of real drain on a computer somewhere. They probably can track all the credit card transactions in the country with, probably a desktop you can buy now. And so why are we paying all these 1 and 2% fees and all this stuff? It's to make somebody tremendous amounts of money for providing almost nothing.
Go look at the profit margins on the big banks and everything else. Yes, I mean that's who's. They say, well, it's only a little bit, but all these little bits keep adding up.
Yeah. And if you and I said, hey, we'll do it for way cheaper, there's so many obstacles to make sure it all keeps going to the same hands of people.
Exactly.
Yep. Butterbean, I appreciate you.
Exactly. All right, man.
Thanks, buddy. See ya. Oh. Sky, you were talking about how they can just erase things that happened, and I know this is not exactly directly correlated, but I always found it fascinating that Disney, they had a movie called Lilo and Stitch.
I remember that.
Stitch is the little blue kind of alien guy.
Sure.
There was a scene of that movie when it came out where Lilo hides inside the dryer. There's a washer and dryer sitting beside each other. She hides in the dryer, okay?
Okay.
And that's just part of the movie. She hides in the dryer. Great. It's a good hiding place for,
Yeah, if you'll fit.
Yeah. And, well, apparently somebody was like, oh, my gosh, that's dangerous. I don't know. We can't. So when Disney Plus comes along, at some point in time, they changed the movie. So the Disney streaming service has Lilo hiding in a cabinet that's right beside the washing machine. And there's a pizza box in front of it for the door. So she's not hiding in the dryer anymore. And Disney said they did it for child safety reasons. They didn't want a kid emulating Lilo and hiding in the dryer. And I'm like, really? But the point
kind
of it
a minor
is
thing, but there's a bigger message here.
All those little kids that I know that wear all the little Stitch things and all that kind of stuff, they love the Stitch clothes.
Sure.
They didn't see the real movie. They saw an altered version of the movie. And if you ask them, hey, where did Lilo hide in the movie? They're like, oh, in the cabinet by the washing machine. And you're like, that's
all they know.
So I know it's not directly analogous, but it is.
It is of a bigger picture.
When they
For
go
your
to
safety,
look and
we can
see,
revise anything.
That's it. To keep you safe, to make it better, we'll revise it. I really expected Butterbean to say that his new versions of the books did not match the old version of the books. And that would not surprise me either. You go into some famous thing, you just take away the quotes. You go to George Washington's address, it says, hey, don't get entangled with foreign powers, and you just take that sentence out. And then every little person that looks it up, hey, did George Washington say that in his farewell address? Read. No, he did not. Scott, you liar.
I collect old history books and almanacs.
Yeah.
And I've seen it. And this is why I believe what I believe about AI and revisionist history, because I've seen the textbooks change. And, they're very authoritative. Okay. Mm-hmm. But it's amazing how things that happened long ago have changed since the event with no new information. And I think that's where we're headed with AI. I really do.
I mean,
there's not going to be anything to back it up anymore.
And no one should ever forget that AI and all these things, even before they had AI, is creating a profile of you. And they decide, are you a useful idiot, which is what the communists wanted, right?
That's right.
Or are you someone who will stand up and say, no, you can't do that? And I promise you, those of you who have the courage or the thinking ability to be a no, you can't do that person, there's a flag by your name already.
You better believe it.
We got to take a break. We'll be back.
Alabama Unfiltered Radio with Scott Beason.
Welcome back into the program, everybody. So let's, the last thing on one of the last things on the list was a couple of different things.
All right.
Did y'all see the Blue Angels? The Blue Angels clip of them buzzing the beach?
I've been on the beach when they buzzed it, sir, but I haven't seen
Have
the
you
clip.
really? So when they buzzed it, were they close enough to like blow over some umbrellas and stuff like that when you were there?
Absolutely. Big fans of the Blue Angels. We hung out in Pensacola for many years.
Okay.
As you well know, they have the Naval Air Base down there, and very familiar with them. And but anyway, I don't want to get you off topic, but I do want to finish.
I want you to tell the story of your experience. You're on the beach.
Well, we go to the beach, or we go to where the show is, which is more over toward the base. But I've been on the beach when it happens, and man, they come in low and hot.
And you can feel the wind almost?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
Really? Now, how many years ago was that, Mr. Sky?
It's been about, probably about 10 years. I just had some memories come up on Facebook.
Really?
Of us taking the kids, the grandkids, everybody. And here's the thing they do. We were talking about this just the other night. And what they'll do is they have 5 planes, okay?
Okay.
And as you're watching the show, there's all kind of this aeronautic just
they're doing all the synchronized and rolling, and they're right beside each other.
And at one point, they'll come down and do like a strafe, really low and really hot, and it's so loud. And it goes by, and then what happens is you didn't count all 5 planes. There's a 5th one coming the other direction, and it will scare. I mean, people will literally jump out of their skin, man, because they don't see that last one coming. They're watching
the 4 go by, and then he comes in there, bank turn,
and right over your head, and it will light you up.
And so I'm going to make sure now, and you feel the wind, and umbrellas blow around, and everybody's like, yeah!
Oh, it's right? Wild, man. You talking about some real, get your heart going.
Really?
Yes. Very, very impressive.
Okay, so when I read this story, you're going to be like, so? So apparently, this is Jordan Conradson. The Blue Angels, well, here we go. Pilots from the U.S. Navy's elite Blue Angels Flight Demonstration Squadron conducted a breathtaking flyover at Pensacola Beach in Florida on Wednesday, which is now under review after the jets buzzed over the beach at low altitude, sending beach chairs and other objects flying. Now, you've seen that before, right?
Yeah, it's part of it. It's great. It's just so impressive.
The Blue Angels said the jets were flying, quote, lower than standard profiles, describing the epic sight as a disturbance. Video from the beach shows exuberant beachgoers reveling in the incredible moment, cheering and even jumping up and down as the unforgettable flyover happens just feet above their heads.
It's glorious.
So, and look, I don't know what the standard profile is. Maybe this one was closer.
I'll send you some pictures.
But
it's very low, Scott.
But I get the feel, Sky, that we're being treated. Now, look, I'm going to be honest now. This is my perception of the Blue Angels, because I've seen some of their announcements and stuff over the last few years. Somebody over there got into a lot of DEI at one time. Remember? Because oh, now we got some women pilots, and we got some so-and-so pilots. We got pilots look like America. And you're like, okay, wait a minute. Something's happening over there. What are y'all doing? And now we have, hey, wait a minute. You may have there could have been a violation here. Now, the reason I say this has got to be some Karens and Kyles is if indeed one of the pilots or all of the pilots flew closer to the beach than they usually do, could have been a mistake. But who in the world over at the Navy puts out some sort of release that says, we're looking into this? Can't you just, hey, boys, girls, y'all, come in here. Get in here. Get in here now. Close the door. Guys, y'all, you can't be doing that. You're already close enough. Don't be stupid. Don't let it happen again. Is that not enough? Is that not enough for the Navy? Or does the Navy have to put out some some pansy little statement about, oh, the safety of our hometown community, spectators, and our pilots is our highest priority. Team leadership's reviewing the circumstance. That means somebody complained.
Of course.
And then they had to do their little dog and pony show. Why didn't they just say, hey, we're handling it? Or just say, okay, fine, noted. Be the freaking military. It's the blue. No,
That's the show.
It is part of the show. I thought my understanding of it was that. That's why when I found out you had been there, that I wanted to know. Now, one person there did say that they had never seen a pass like there in their life, and they've been coming for 10 years.
I don't know how much closer they can get to the ground, Scott, than what I've witnessed personally.
Apparently.
Seriously.
Listen to what this person said. Now, this person might have been one of the people that complained. All of our tents got knocked down. All of our legs got bent. Then she says, God bless this lady, it was worth it. It was awesome.
There you go. That's what I'm talking about.
A little boy said, I'm going to remember that for probably the rest of my life.
Yeah. Sounds about right.
Little girl, young girl, they say young, I say little, said it was thrilling.
Yeah, we had like a 7-year-old and a 5-year-old the last time we took the grandkids down there.
Mm-hmm.
And let me tell you, it scared them.
Scared the bizzies out of you.
That's why you ride the roller coaster.
Yeah.
It's a great scare.
Yeah.
It's a tremendous thing that you.
So nobody got hurt, but.
Of course not. But yeah, it got a little loud. It got a little scary.
Yeah.
Okay. And the wind blew real hard. So what?
Right. Now, look, I
Just
get it.
the
I don't want
miracle of this
anybody to
technology.
I don't want anybody to get fried. I don't want anything bad to happen to somebody, but just the feeling I get just deep in my soul somewhere of, oh, we're looking into it. It just makes me just think Karen and the Whiners, which ought to be some sort of band from the 70s or something. No, Karen and the Whiners wouldn't even be. It should be a rock band of some sort. No, it'd be a pop band. It wouldn't be rock, would it? It'd be pop.
Absolutely.
Let's see what people say. I'm certain that if there were complaints, they were from progressive scumbags. Okay, all right. These people feel the same. Yes, I would have cheered and been thrilled at the display of American greatness, not cry because my towel got moved. If you got it, flaunt it.
Right off.
This person
y'all
said,
just going back to New Jersey and, have your safe spaces and whatnot.
Let's see.
We'll have the Blue Angels.
All right. So everybody feels the way I do about it, but I'm just like, look, like I said, am I not wrong? Call them in and say, hey, don't, you can't be doing it that close, John, for the love.
That's the whole show, man.
We'll
I'm
be
going to
back.
find you some pictures. All right.
Alabama Unfiltered Radio with Scott Beason.
I've had my expert look. Sky says it looks pretty normal to him, having been there before. Let's go to Jimmy. Jimmy, welcome to the program. Thank you for listening. I hope you're well. Jimmy? Jimmy? What happened, Sky? I can't hear you either. Oh, wait, you're away. Sky, how'd you go away? All right, hold on. Hold on. You went away, Sky. And
there you go.
Hey, there you go. I don't know. I went away somehow. Jimmy, welcome back in.
Hey, Scott. Hey,
buddy.
Hey, guys. How you doing?
We're doing great, man. How are you?
Hey, quick. Like I was telling Sky when I was on hold.
Yes, sir.
I'm 59 years old. I've seen the Blue Angels over 30 times.
Wow.
And the way that David Muir and ABC News painted that is the most. They should be put off the air for the way he said people were screaming and kids were crying. I've never seen people more happier, and I've seen it in person tons of times.
As have I. I've seen it on numerous occasions.
Sky was saying, Jimmy, that looks like the experience he had before, and you're right. ABC. I mean, I'm just frustrated.
The videos do not do it justice. If you've never been in person to see it, you will get goosebumps. I don't care how many times I've been.
Yeah.
It will give you goosebumps.
I promise you. That's a fact.
And it's every time something American happens that's beautiful, the Democrats have to try and ruin it.
It's scary.
And it had to be a Democrat.
It's so scary, though, Jimmy.
I'm
afraid.
My grandson is 5 years old, and they were at Maxwell Air Force Base last year.
Uh-huh.
And he was so happy. He was freaking out.
He loved it, didn't he?
He had never seen anything like that. It was awesome.
I've only seen him once. And,
Jimmy, back me up
on
that backdoor strafe, how they'll send 4 planes over you, obviously, but then that 5th one is hiding out back in the back, and then it comes in low as a big surprise.
Yes.
How about that?
Sneak pass.
Yes, that's it.
They call it the sneak pass.
That'll light you up.
Incredible. In person, it's absolutely incredible.
Yeah, now I want to go see it just so I can I don't know where I saw them, but I would love to see them where they can do the sneak pass.
If you ever go to Orange Beach or Gulf Shores or Pensacola, they practice every other day of the week.
Yeah.
Really?
You
Yes.
can see them. Oh, you can see them almost every single day. And the fact that people don't realize that they can be combat ready in 72 hours.
Really?
It's America's best, baby. Yeah.
If need be, they can be combat ready in 72 hours.
What's the so the Blue Angels or the Navy? Is there a Air Force version?
Yes.
Iron Eagle.
That's the Thunderbirds.
Thunderbirds. The Thunderbirds.
Yeah.
Maybe I saw the Thunderbirds. I don't remember. I was little when that happened.
And Canada has a team. It's called the Snowbirds.
I thought it was the Flying Mooses,
serious.
man.
Oh, you're serious. I thought you were giving them a hard time.
I'm dead serious. No, I'm dead serious.
It's
They're
the
called
Flying
Snowbirds.
Snowbirds. Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Well, they used to do a really good show, but now that they don't want to impact the climate, they don't put any fuel in them, so they just you can stop look at them. Thanks, Jimmy.
All right, guys.
Appreciate you.
Thanks, buddy. Yep. There's my witness right there.
Yeah, I mean y'all have the same story. You can't be making it up.
I'll show you some pictures. I'll get them set that we've taken at the shows.
That ABC, and that's who I saw the clip from.
Because it's America exceptionalism. It's the very best of the best, and it's our military. Of course, they're going to hate it and complain about it.
Bunch of whiners.
That's what they do,
I mean,
man.
what got them going? Did somebody post it? I know they posted it on Facebook and said, "Oh my gosh, I was so scared." No, I don't even believe. I don't even believe that.
Scott, we weren't safe.
Somebody
said. Oh my goodness.
Somebody said it blew away their towel, their crying towel.
Oh,
can't find my crying towel.
I gotta get to the comments on this one. I gotta check that out.
Y'all be safe, be good. We'll see y'all tomorrow. See y'all.